Hello and welcome to a quick overview of Canva.com. This is part of the assignment prep for the content marketing visual content assignment. So the assignment will ask you to create 2 different social media images for each client business that you have. Now, as you've seen so far, we have our B2C side and our B2B side. And there have been some other specifications that have been laid out in the assignment. Now, there's a couple pros and cons to what we're going to do today. Number one, the big pro is that you can use this website right here, canva.com, to get you halfway there. Canva is one of the most commonly used websites in digital marketing, used by designers and just social media coordinators around the world. And I created this assignment honestly less because it's less about the fact that it's visual content and more to get you some experience with Canva if you have not used it already. When I did my survey of entry level digital marketing jobs, Canva was the third most common program slash site slash software that was mentioned by name as something that's needed as experience. This follows HubSpot and WordPress as the 2 biggest. And then there was Canva, followed by Hootsuite, and a couple of others. This is really significant because if you don't have any experience with Canva, it's not a deal breaker per se, but if you're trying to break into the digital marketing world, content marketing world at all, it's good to know your way around the site, I should say. So the assignment today, all about social media graphics. 2 things if I look at the negative side to the assignment here today, it's that you're not given the proper dimensions for social media graphics. That comes later in the chapters on social media. Because really what I'm looking for you to do today is just to navigate your way around Canva, create something that is going to resonate in terms of the target audience. And as long as it does that, similar to how you created your videos in the past weeks, that's all that I'm really looking for. So you want to create something that's going to be visually appealing, something that will get people to stop the scroll, as I talked about many times in the chapter overview video. But also, again, thinking about who the specific target audience is and what it is that you're actually promoting. When we talk about social media graphics, and as I mentioned in the chapter overview, you want to make sure that you are creating something that actually is going to match what it is that you want them to do. And what I mean by that is, take the donut shop, for example, that's the B2C side. If you're going to create an image, a social media graphic that's promoting the donut shop, you want to create something that is going to visually make a connection with the individual viewer, that also is going to connect them to the brand of the donut shop. Now, on the flip side, if you're going to create a social media graphic for the email marketing software, maybe you want to be a little bit more covert about it. And you say, hey, I'm just going to create a graphic that's going to match the blog post, say, that I wrote a couple weeks ago, which is perfectly fine. 10 best social media, 10 best email marketing programs online. All right, that's perfectly fine. When you do that, though, you still want to include something that is going to show them what it is that you're promoting. Is it the email? Is it this list? And if so, what is the visual component that's going to attract them? You don't want to just put your brand and just say, here's my brand and here's the top 10 email marketing programs. That's not a good match. Rather, you really want to create something. You want whatever you create, you need to deliver on in the second step, when it comes to what happens when they click through. So, and speaking more on what you're going to be promoting, I would recommend creating graphics that match, at least one that matches the content that you wrote from the blogging chapter. And actually, if you want to get even more specific, you could, if you want to, you could also apply a graphic that would go to the video that you created last week, or the podcast that you created, or the video that you created 2 weeks ago, or the podcast that you created last week. You shouldn't have to create any other content. It's really just about creating this imagery and this visual that's going to make an emotional connection, stop the scroll, connect with the target audience, and get them to click through. So let's go ahead and give you a quick walkthrough of Canva. This is the homepage here. You can create an account for free. I already have my email in here. I'm not going to go through the account creation process, but all you have to do is log in. You can create your account pretty quickly, sign up. Takes about 3 minutes. And then you're here on the homepage. I also have a free account, so I'm just going through what you have and what you can see in terms of what's available to those who have a non-paid account and those who have a paid account. Now, the number one thing that paid accounts have is access to these things with these little king things, these little crowns. That is an upgrade. So if I go to Content Planner and I want to create something new, well, I guess I can create something new here, but if I want to go to my brand tools, I have to try it free for 30 days. I can try it 3. I can, of course, upgrade temporarily. If you want to do that, you can. But there's only so much you can do here on the free plan. Now, having said that, back home on the homepage here, you can still create social media graphics that are pretty good. Now, before I get into the social media graphics really quick, I do want to spend one moment on infographics because I did spend so much time on that in the chapter this week. And that is that Canva has thousands of infographic templates that you can use. Many of them follow the best practices that I outlined. Some of them don't. And it really depends on what you're trying to do. Something like this, not a fan. Something like this works a little bit better. Good imagery, not a lot of text. Other ones are more heavy text. Again, there's a time and a place for those. I did not get into why you would use something with, that's a whole story here, but you've probably seen infographics that are kind of follow some of these. It might have even followed these exact templates. And the idea here is that infographics are really all based on templates and what you can update and make your own, updating for your brand. Again, because we are using the free version of Canva, you only really have access to about, I don't know, a quarter of these. This one specifically, you have to pay for elements. This one you can't see at all unless it's pro. You'd be pretty limited in what you can actually do. Obviously, these ones up top, except for that one, you can do for free, but it's not something that I'm gonna make you get into today. It also is very time consuming to make these look more like what you want. Instead, you go up to create a design. Let's start with the LinkedIn post. You'll see there's all these different options. Not only can you create an article cover image, but a banner, a tab, a post, profile pictures, mounted content, stories, which don't exist anymore, video ads, you even want it for Labor Day. Okay. So we're gonna go to the post. You'll do this for Facebook as well, or whatever social network that you're working with, and you'll see that it's a square, and that there's a lot of templates that you can use to start with. So, for the purposes of this assignment, I'm not going to start doing the assignment. So I'm going to pretend that we're creating one that's a hiring post. You can start with something here, and from here, you just edit the text. Now, I do want you to make this, I want you to do more than just update text and export and turn it in. I am looking for some creativity, something different, and something that's going to match the content that you have created in the past. So if you wrote a blog post, let's do the email marketing software. The email marketing software provider, you wrote a blog post on the best email marketing programs. Okay. You want to create something that is going to promote that. You don't want to just take any old template, have a random image photo of a guy and just say, here's our top 10 email marketing programs. That doesn't work. You need some sort of imagery that is going to make that connection visually between the viewer and what they can expect to see when they click through. That is the idea behind the creativity of this assignment, and really where the points are going to come in is I need to see a graphic that's going to that's first of all going to capture my attention. That's number one. But then second of all, it needs to it needs to deliver on what it's promising me. If it's going to tell me that there's going to be, if I'm looking at something that says click through here and you're going to check out 5 of the best email marketing programs, and then there's this nice imagery there, like that's what I'm looking for. On the flip side, if it's the email company's logo and it's promoting them, but then it says the 5 best email marketing programs, that doesn't really make sense. A company that's just overly promoting itself in terms of the branding and the iconography, coupled with text that says, oh, this is a very objective look at the email marketing landscape, those two don't work together. And so you need to create something that is going to give a very very standardized and one unified message to the viewer. So again, you can edit all of these things here. When you're done, you'll click share and you can download the final product. Then you can upload it to the assignment, and there you go. The only other thing I did want to show here in Canva is that you can upload your own stuff here too. If you go to upload, I created some stuff in the past here. That was me 45 pounds ago and a year ago. You can upload an image if you want. You can change your text. You can update some styles, all sorts of stuff. You can add different elements. You can make these images your own. You don't have to just stick with the templates that you take. I'm going to know if a template is exactly the same. I've worked in Canva enough to know if you're just taking a template word for word. So try to vary it, try to make it unique, try to make it different. The more different and unique, the more chances you take, the better off you're going to be. I do reward people taking risks. I don't think I've seen anything yet where in this course, at least, where somebody's taken a risk and I've taken points away. As long as you are completing the specifications that are set out in the assignment and still following the best practices that are outlined in the chapters, you're going to be okay. And really, that's the greater thing to think about when it comes to content marketing is if you take risks and you're still keeping those marketing principles in the back of your mind, chances are you're actually going to come out the other end in a better position. It's the content marketers that don't take risks, that are playing it conservatively, that really play it safe, that don't see any good results. No marketer has ever climbed the ranks and succeeded because they just played it safe 100% at the time and just did something that was very bland and straightforward, and wasn't trying to do something bold, because this is an industry in digital marketing where you often have to be bold. You have to take a position. You need to do create something great, create something that is that might not be the most plain and just straightforward communication in terms of a brand. It needs to be something. And that is where the visual content can really come through for you. You can create something loud, something bold, something new. And again, as long as it is serving the purpose, it's proper, it's right for your audience, and it's right for the channel where you're posting it, you're going to be okay for this assignment and for the other assignments moving forward. So that's all for today here on the Canva overview. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to walk through anything that you learned here today. If you have any issues, and if you have any problems connecting to Canva, also let me know. There are alternative programs to this as well. Canva is just the one that is used the most. It's one of the most common programs that digital marketing positions are looking for. Not a ton of experience, but you do need some familiarity. As long as you know your way around it, you're going to be okay. And that's the other side of this assignment is it's less about knowing the specifics of creating a visual on social media and more about being able to use the most common popular online tools like Canva, because it's a great conversation starter. It's a great way to get off on the right foot when it comes to interviewing and starting a new job in digital marketing. And it's really good at making you feel a little bit more entrepreneurial, making you feel, you might not be a graphic designer at all. You might totally hate the idea of you doing something like this, but Canva makes it so simple, so easy that you can create something that you really stand behind and call it your own, by just making a few small changes to these templates that have been already pre built for you. So that's all for today. And thanks for watching.